This is it right here, and I have it so if it rained it's totally covered. Got the back side brought down, the front side here got it propped up quite a bit. I actually had to take that spot back there, pull it back and go back to the tree just so it would cover, because I do not have two trees that are exactly perfect to go back and forth in the middle of the cot. But this here will work and it'll keep the rain off. It's pretty hot out here today, and whenever I go into the woods I always carry a liter of water at least. And I also have a straw here, a straw type filter that I can stick right into a stream, into a water source, and draw water up. But this here, it's wet, I've been sweating, and tell you, it's nice to have some water. I'm gonna go and look around a little bit and see what I can find for water around here. There's no streams, lakes or anything right in this area, but I do know where there's some wet spots that I may be able to get some water. That's damp down here, but not a whole lot of water here. Although, I'm going to just do a test well right here. I'm just going to dig it down about a foot or so in this mud and see if we can get anything out of it. Because it is rather damp, but not sure if there's enough water in this or not. Go to a low spot, find a damp spot, and try it. That's about all you can do. Sometimes you have success, sometimes you don't. Right now I'm just going to go straight down and see if I can get this down there, and I'll go from there if it's worth digging any larger, if I see any water seeping. I don't think this is going to be successful, but you don't know unless you try. Turning my head sideways, close my eyes so I don't get dirt in my eyes. Okay, just let that set for a while and see if there's anything in there. It's just damp. I don't know. Gonna look to see if we can find a spot like this with a little bit of water laying. Now there's the hill right there, and if you're coming down this hill you can see that it goes into this nice lush green moss. Right there is water pooled. All I have to do is dig that out so I can get a container in it, and I could also use my straw. It looked like a little bit of water there. There is a lot of water here. Dig this out. I'm going to let it settle, and then we can get water. There's a lot of water here. Great find. Now I've got to let it settle. So I'm at that first hole that I dug, and it produced no water at all. You don't know unless you try. But this is rather damp, and if I squeeze that hard enough, there is water. So that is one way I could squeeze out all this moss and get some water, and filter it first through a bandana and then boil it. That way there I know that I've killed all the nasties in this water. But just that alone, squeezing that out, you can get some water. So if this didn't produce, that is another way. Now what we're going to do is go down to the other hole, and we're going to check that out and see how clear that is now. It's been a couple hours. Right on the edges, it's nice and clear. Can't see it on the camera, but right there in the middle it's still a little cloudy. First inch or so is clean right now. You'd have to let that settle a little longer. What I have in my kit is I have this 1 liter stainless steel water bottle that I can fill up. I'd put a bandana over it first, then fill it up in here, then boil it. Now in this baggie I also have a straw that I can dip right in there and drink. But if I didn't have a way to make fire, I could fill my canteen, take this back, and put my straw right in the canteen, the water bottle, and drink from it that way as well. Many options for water. I've still got 3/4 of a liter here, so I'm fine. I'd want that to clear up a little bit more before I drank out of it, but I could with this right now. I keep this in a baggie because if I use this when it's around the freezing mark or below, I can shake it out real good, put it in a baggie so it doesn't drip on me, and put it in an interior pocket just so the filter doesn't freeze. So lately there's been a lot of fire bans. So I'm not going to risk having a fire out here and starting a forest fire. This is only a camp out. I'm using my survival kit. Now this kit is just over 10 pounds. Between 10 and 13 pounds. According to what I put in it and take out. Now this is a lightweight pack for me, and I just throw this on whenever I go in the woods. So if I do ever get lost or stranded, I have it with me. This also, by taking this out and doing this, it also shows me what I can do with my kit and if I would need anything else to put into it. So it's a good way to use your kit. So I'm not going to start a fire out here. I'm actually set up so I don't have to. I have a 0-degree sleeping bag in here that anywhere from 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit and above, I don't need to have fire to keep warm. This here is a air mattress. I'm up off the ground, so I don't want to get cold from the underneath through convection. It just fits in here, nice and small, compact, and fits in here. So with this and my sleeping bag, I'll be set tonight. Now there is going to be bugs. I have bug spray that I can put on that will help, but I also have a hooded sweatshirt that I can just throw over my face if need be, just to keep the bugs off. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Is I've got this here and I've got the sleeping bag in here, and that's actually how I'm going to sleep tonight. So the sun has set now and it's going to be getting dark rather quickly. Now in this kit here that fits in my backpack, I have a light. This is the T10 by Through Night. Takes 1 AA battery, and it also has a diffuser. So with this light I can use it for just as a hand light, but it has a clip on it here that if I want to, I can put that on my hat like this, and then I have a headlamp. So that is a good option. Plus if I put it on here, it gives me a diffuser that I can hang at my camp just if I have to get up, or if something's coming in camp I can see it and such. But myself, I like to hang a light around my camp just so I can see if nature calls and so on, if I wake up or if I have to see something. So just a very good option if you have extra batteries, which I do. This only takes 1 AA battery. So this is what I'll be using tonight. Having a good light in your kit can make a huge difference, especially if you have a fire and you start getting low on firewood. This here allows you to go move around away from your fire and your firelight to get more firewood if needed. So, very good idea to have a light in a survival kit. So I've crawled in here, and as you see, I have a bug net over my face. I actually borrowed it from Chris. He's camping over that way, a little ways away in his hammock. He has a bug net. But it's hot right now. It's cooled off, but it's still too warm to get in my sleeping bag. So I've just got this on here. I've got my ball cap and such. That's holding it away from my face. And I've got this zipped up. So that keeps me bug free. Now, I have one of these at home that I'm going to throw in my kit. Because I do have bug spray, but you can run out of it. But sometimes, I mean, I have bug spray on right now, and they still are wanting to bite sometimes, and I've got some good bug spray. So, just having a little net like this, it weighs nothing, I can throw it in there, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So, I'm going to actually go to sleep like this, and my hands, I'll just put that right inside my sleeve on the other side, so that will cover my hands as well. I'll be totally covered and I can go to sleep. If I get a little cool, then that's when I'll crawl in the sleeping bag. Good morning. Last night I slept well. I had the sleeping bag, I'd throw it right over top of me. Kept the bugs off of me. I heard bzzz all night though. There's a lot of mosquitoes. But I just had this draped over top of me, and the sleep pad underneath me kept me warm. So last night got cold, and I would have been stoking a fire all night, or I would have been rather miserable if I didn't have the sleeping bag. Now with the sleeping bag, the sleep pads and tarps, the cordage and knife and saw and skill, I was able to turn this into a pretty nice camp out. Having that gear in my survival kit can be a huge positive factor in survival mentality. You're going to be stressed. Many things are going to be going through your mind if lost or stranded. So, having confidence in your kit and gear, that can help with your stress level for sure. My kit covered my most important need, and that was regulating my core temperature. Very good night. So last night was a good night. And by using this pack, I was able to keep my core temperature. I slept warm last night. I slept very good. Wasn't too cold, wasn't too hot. Also, if there is a water source around, I have a way to purify it. Because hydration and keeping that core temperature is utmost important. Now I could work on signaling. I could also work on getting out or moving to another area today. Because core temperature, besides getting too hot, I don't have to worry about it. It's going to warm up. And this time of year, I just have to worry about staying cool until it hits nighttime. So hydration and core temperature is utmost important. A fire, I didn't need a fire. If I wanted to boil water to purify it, then I could have had a fire. If it got too cold, which it did not, I could have had a fire as well. So I have a lot of options in this pack. I'll leave some links where you can click on them to see the gear I have in this pack. And this fits my needs. Every pack should fit your own needs in your own environment at your own skill level. Thanks for watching. Take care and all the best.